Hey everyone, it's Tuesday, August 30th, 2016, and I'm currently on one knee in about a quarter-acre plot that I did a test on with some cover crops. This plot has a mix in it of, excuse me, we got tillage radish, we got annual rye, we have buckwheat, and we have some um, sorghum Sudan grass in this mix. It's a mix that I'm trying, add a few things, take a few things away, see what does what. So the first video was me planting out some stuff. This plot that we're in right now, I actually planted a week before that. So right now I got 1 week's different on that plot versus this one, and they're right next door to each other. So I'm going to try to get the camera turned around, show you what that one looks like. But first I just wanted to talk to you about where this one was at. This is 2 weeks old now, maybe 2.5 weeks. I can't remember exactly what day I planted it, but either way, it was definitely within the first couple weeks of August. I'm trying to figure out, being in Wisconsin and what kind of weather we have and how drastic the temperature changes at night during the day or versus night and day can be. I wanted to see where we would be at for growth and how everything looks. So as you can kind of see behind me there, it looks like it's filling in pretty good. There's a few places where it's a little sparse. There's some places where the buckwheat is really heavy and it's very sparse on some of the other stuff, like the annual rye and the clover and anything that I might have put in here before, really sparse. So I think the buckwheat and some of that rye is kind of starting to choke out anything that might have been in there beforehand. So anything that I planted with the buckwheat in the rye is really coming in nice. The tillage radish I'm extremely happy with. Those are coming in really thick and heavy. I can see that perfectly. So I'm going to take a little shot with the camera turned around. We'll talk a little bit about what's all on the ground here. Alright, so I said we were going to talk about what's on the ground and what we're looking at here. You can see right here we got, this is a tillage radish. It's really coming up nice. There's another one, a real small one right next to it. This here is buckwheat. This is unflowered. There's some buckwheat over here that's starting to flower over in this back plot right about there. Might be able to see some of the white flowers in there. I still have some weeds in here. That's velvet something or other, I think. I don't really know the name of all the weeds and shit that might be out here, but there's definitely some weed pressure out here still. But in all reality, this plot looks pretty nice. But you can kind of see the difference. There's a little bit more wheat right here. There's definitely a kind of a path of tillage radish, a little bit of wheat, another path of tillage radish. I'm just using a roller kind of drop seeder, so I'm not really sure how these paths happened and that, but I'm all right with it. We're going to see what's going to happen, and actually it'll give us a really good idea of what roll kill will look like when this is how it is. So, you know, where these radishes are, where that just kind of dies in, I might end up just having kind of an open strip where there might be some weeds coming up in there. I don't know what to think. I think that the annual rye is probably going to do the best as far as weed choke and giving me a little bit of ground cover and armor, they call it. So we'll see what it does and how well it holds down moisture and everything. There's actually still some corn coming up in here. You can probably see that one right about there. There's still some corn coming up in here from probably, geez, I think it was 2 years ago that we planted corn out here. So kind of getting this ground worked and running some seed over and just kind of letting it sit. Some of that stuff has come back up now. So now we're in the plot that I planted during the last video. I was standing down there at the corner where you can kind of see my chicken coops there behind the corn. We talked a little bit about what I had in this mix. I can't remember exactly what it was at this moment. I don't have my notebook with me, but you can still see there's some dead, you know, material here and in here. We dissed it and I immediately planted. I wasn't going to give it any time to die off or anything. Let's just see what happens. You can see all the buckwheat and all the clover starting, or not clover, I'm sorry, the tillage radish starting to come up in here. I believe, see here, this here is buckwheat and this here is a tillage radish. So there's a, you know, some of them get pretty close together, but we're looking for a high density amount of biomass that we're going to put down here. So hopefully we'll have a really nice mat of green on this plot pretty soon. These are about quarter-acre plots from where you can see where the corn is right there all the way over to where I had it planted over here before. That's about a quarter acre. These plots are broke down into 1 acre parcels, and try to do it all in about a quarter at a time so I can see what mix is going to be best, and I at least have a fairly decent sized plot to work with so I can really test out what a plot is. So hopefully next season, when we plant everything out, if we're going to do some squash, we're going to put it right into the biomass that's down here. We're going to put some squash in and maybe some corn and maybe some broccoli and just see what it all does. And we'll do it quarter acre at a time so we can see the difference between the different crops. So that quarter acre plot we were just talking about that I showed you, that I ran chickens in last year, or this season. So I ran probably, let's see, we got 3 batches, 4 total, so we're through batch 3 now that I ran in here. And just Cornish cross broilers, ran them in pasture pens, and just let them really beat this ground down and eat everything that was in there, spread their manure on it. That's what the pasture pens are for. So we're going to see what happens with this one. This one, it did get turned in before I planted, so we'll see if the nitrogen stuck around and see what the difference is between this plot and the one that I planted 2 weeks earlier. So this is video number 2. Hoping to keep these updated and keep going with it. I got a few other things coming up, and we'll hopefully see you guys soon. Take care.